Today, I'm going to be making Lowry's fudge cake. I will talk to you about Lowry's at the end of the video when we start to try to review the fudge cake. But this is from the book, this recipe is from the book, Being Dead is No Excuse, the official Southern Ladies Guide to Hosting the Perfect Funeral. So, what you need to make the fudge cake, you need 2 sticks of butter. You need 4 squares of semi-sweet chocolate, which is a whole package. You basically need this whole box of Baker's semi-sweet chocolate. This is a 4-ounce.
Each square is an ounce.
Yes, you need the whole thing. You need 1 3/4 cup sugar, 4 eggs, 1 cup of flour, a pinch of salt, which I've already put a pinch of salt in the flour. Just take your salt shaker and just sprinkle it a couple times. That's a pinch to me. 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 cup of chopped pecans. So we love pecan chips. There are some halves in here from a package I needed to finish up, but it's mainly these chips, and I like the chips and so does Kevin because they're smaller and they spread out more, and so you get more, you feel like you really taste more of them. You also, they say to use a 9 by 11 inch pan. This is a 9 by 13 inch pan, so ours might be a little bit thinner, but this is all we have. We don't have a 9 by 11. This is a lasagna pan. So you can grease it really, really well. I'm going to use parchment paper because it comes out clean. You also want to preheat your oven to 300 degrees. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take all of our butter and our chocolate, and we are going to melt them together in this pan. And all of your, everything for this fudge is literally going to be made in this pan. So now we're going to add our sugar. This is what the butter and chocolate looks like melted. We're going to add our sugar, and then once the sugar is melted, we're going to take it off the heat and let it cool slightly. I have taken it off the heat. I'm going to mix in my eggs one at a time. Okay, now it says to fold in the flour and salt. So, I don't know about folding, but I'll get it in there. To add the vanilla and the pecans. Now we're going to take this whole mixture and pour it into our prepared pan. About 40 minutes. Start testing at 30 or 35 minutes. So we plan on setting our timer for 32 minutes, and then we will go from there and increase the time a little bit. But when we take it out of the oven for the final time, we'll let you know how long it was in there total. Baked for 44 minutes, and we have also let it cool off. So this is what it looks like.
Completely cool.
Yeah, it is completely cool. And so you're supposed to get like 18 pieces, but I'm just going to cut it like I cut it and then get as many pieces as I get. I'm probably going to get more than 18. I got 18? Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Okay, well, good for me then. That was a complete accident. This is just the normal way that I would cut it. So let me lay it over here, and then you can get a close-up of it.
Yeah, it says cake, but it's very fudgy.
No Greenville native of a certain age will ever forget the pleasure of biting into a piece of Lowry's fudge cake. It was sold exclusively at the old Lowry's Motel. We still remember how it was cut into squares and neatly wrapped in wax paper. After the Lowry ladies died and the motel restaurant became but a fond memory, custody of the fudge cake recipe was passed to another lady of the church. It still arrives for the reception in perfect squares wrapped in the traditional wax paper, though now the ladies of the pastoral care committee unwrap it and arrange it on a silver tray. It never lasts long. So this is Greenville, Mississippi is where they're talking about. This is the Mississippi Delta is where these recipes come from. And so it's...
And it was really a place.
Yes.
That's not a made up story.
No, we have actually looked up. I love these recipes so much, and I love hearing about the spread that comes from the South, and it has a history. Okay, so lots of butter, a pound of butter, sugar, eggs, flour, milk, almond extract, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Butter, semi-sweet chocolate, sugar, eggs, flour, salt, vanilla, and pecans. That's it. I was like, okay. And this, you can just...
It's soft, but it's not mushy. You really taste the pecans.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I'm so glad that we use the chips.
Mm-hmm.
I always am glad. Anytime we use those in a recipe, I'm glad.
I like that. It is a good... It's a mix between a cake and a piece of brownie or something.
Mm-hmm. It has a stickiness to it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not as dense as a brownie is. It's more fluffy.
Yes. But I think it's absolutely delicious.
It's good. If I were completely blindfolded and you were to hand me that, I wouldn't necessarily say it was chocolate because I don't get a lot of chocolate flavor, maybe a little bit, but it's mostly just a pecan. Mm-hmm. I would have said it was some kind of pecan bar.
Yes.
Of some kind.
Yeah. It comes across as more of a bar, but then again...
It's got the texture of like a dense cake, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes. I do love the pecans in it though, but that's what makes it. That's what makes it so flavorful. Mm-hmm. It's very, very sweet. But the texture is also very Moorish. Mm-hmm. This would be great if you wanted to put, you could take a piece of this and if you wanted to zap it in the microwave and then put some vanilla ice cream on top.
That'd be good.
It would also be really, really good with Cool Whip. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to take a dollop of Cool Whip and put it right in the middle of the square, I think that would be delicious
You could also, I know it's going away from the tradition, but you could also mix... you could either replace the pecans with walnuts if you wanted to, or you could mix walnuts and pecans if you wanted to and just add a little bit different flavor to it. It doesn't need it, but I'm just saying you could. Mm. It's very good.
And did you get a bite off the edge?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of got I think that's I don't know. Maybe I got a centerpiece.
Because I love that too. Oh, I bet I didn't give you an edge piece.
I think I got a middle piece.
Okay. Well, this was so easy. And that chocolate bar, I was unsure from the directions, like how much chocolate to use.
It just says 4 squares. We weren't sure how much a square is. So.
But that was the perfect
1 ounce. 1 ounce is a square.
Yeah. So one of those bars, one of those Baker's chocolate bars is absolutely perfect. I would make this again and again though.
Yeah, it's very, very good. One thing to note while when you're checking it to bake it, I stuck a toothpick in it. The first 2 times it was wet. I mean, like literally wet. The third time when I actually took it out, it wasn't wet anymore, but it didn't come out completely clean either. Mm-hmm. It's because it's a very moist cake.
I was going to say, it's moist. Now, it's completely baked, but this is very, very moist.
So when you stick your toothpick in, you can tell the difference between wet and just stuff stuck to it. Mm-hmm. So when you stick your toothpick in and it comes out like literally like chocolate water on it, then you know it's wet. If you stick it in there and it just comes out with little pieces of cake on it, it was fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was worried, it's like, am I taking it out too early but I was fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I make sure when I go through each one of these recipes, this is my book, so I make it my own. So now that I know it took 44 minutes, I will write down in my book, it took 44 minutes. I also know...
You're also baking at a low temperature too, so...
Right. I also know that 4 squares of semi-sweet chocolate is a 4-ounce bar. So I've already made note of that. So anytime, if it's your recipe book, don't be afraid to write in your recipe books. Because especially if it's something you really like and you know you're going to go back again and again, I could definitely make this again.
That's very good.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. You'll have to let us know if... I don't know specifically of viewers from Mississippi, but it would be, you know, I have viewers from all over, but I can't recall somebody specifically telling me they live in Mississippi right now. But it would be interesting if you've ever heard of these, this recipe. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll have a picture for you at the end, and thanks for watching.